Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another chit chat get ready with me, and we're going to be talking about my skincare journey. I already have my skincare routine up on my Instagram. It's pretty simple, but I feel like the knowledge is a little bit more valuable than that. I've gone to see esthetician, dermatologist. I just feel like I've learned a lot. If you want to hear more about my journey, then just keep on watching. So I didn't start caring about my skin until probably like freshman year of college. I noticed this texture on my forehead. I noticed that my skin was really flaky. And I think actually when I started wearing makeup is when I saw that like, oh yeah, actually my skin's not as good as I think it is. Just for background, my skin type has never been acne prone or anything, which I get from my mom. So a lot of it is genetics, keep that in mind. Mostly what I struggle with is dry skin and a little bit of texture, and as of lately redness as well. That's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna start a skincare routine. And oh my god, my skincare routine was so bad. It was like clean and clear face wash with a spinny brush from Amazon. And I used witch hazel as a toner. I would just put like random oil on my face for moisturizer. Also, I started looking into getting like extractions and stuff because those are just like fun. They squeeze out all your little pores. And I found a place in Portland, and I went there a couple times, and one of the times I asked a lady for like some recommendations because I was like, I really want to get rid of this texture. There's going to be a pattern in this story, and that I really want to get rid of this texture, so just keep that in mind. At the time, I was a little bit of a blind consumer. They recommended me stuff from the store that they made. Told me to stop using my spinny brush. So that seems to be a consensus, is to not use one of those spinny brushes. They're really, really aggressive and can harbor a lot of bacteria. So if you have one of those, stand up, pause the video, throw it away. She recommends me face wash, a serum, a scrub, and a moisturizer, and I started using that stuff. And I didn't look at the ingredients or anything. I still don't really know if that stuff was good or bad. I used it, and I guess my skin was fine, or I kind of thought it was fine because I didn't notice anything bad, but I didn't notice anything getting better either. Around this time is when like skincare Twitter and stuff came out. I discovered Cave of Beauty. I kind of was reading up on her stuff, and it changed my life a little bit. I was like, I need to be more smart about my product. I saw someone get a microderm on my Instagram, and I started looking into that, like how to get a microderm in Portland. And I found this guy, his name is Harley True, and I went to get a microderm from him. And he has the most perfect skin I've ever seen in my life. Literally, he doesn't even have a pore in sight. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna trust this man with my life. He was so nice. He was so like educational, answering all my questions about all types of skincare. His kind of like motto or whatever is, he cares about results and not, I mean, he cares about the experience, but not about the experience as much. Like, he wants results. And so when you go and get a facial, you're kind of more going for the experience. It's nice, it's relaxing, but in the long run, it's not really doing much for your skin. For me anyway. I was like, you're right, sir. Well, what the heck do you do? Like, how is your skin so nice? And he told me that he gets chemical peels every 3 months. He does them by himself. This is gonna be controversial, but he said he actually doesn't even wash his face. He just, like, he doesn't do anything. Sometimes he throws on moisturizer when he's feeling a little dry, but other than that, like, it's just he does chemical peels. I was like, well, can that help me get rid of this freaking texture on my forehead? And he was like, yeah. That was that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna schedule a chemical peel. So chemical peels are expensive. I got a Jesner peel. It was $350. And so obviously it's not very realistic that someone would be able to get chemical peels every couple months, because that's a lot of money. So a chemical peel is pretty much like a controlled burn, and you lay there, and it kind of, he explained it as it's gonna feel like when you shave and you get like a nick and you get some like soap in there or whatever, and it kind of burns, and that is what it feels like, which made me so anxious, like laying there with these acids on your face. But it didn't hurt or anything. It just was kind of like, the process for that was actually pretty easy. So you don't peel for the first 2 days, and then you peel for about 5 days. But for me, I actually had some like secondary peeling. So when my peel was like done, I had dark spots around my mouth, and also by the time I was supposed to be done, I wasn't done. And so I was like crying so hard. I was like so scared that I had accidentally like ruined my skin or something. I just had like a full-blown breakdown, and I texted him and he was just like, no, it's fine, it's just secondary peeling and your dark spots will go away. But my texture was gone and I could still kind of see it, but when you touched my forehead it was like smooth, and that's exactly what I wanted. It's pretty hyped about that. And also chemical peel, the results from them like last longer, like you're gonna have good skin for like months. Whereas getting like a microderm, you'll probably only see results for like a couple weeks, but obviously they have different downtimes. Like you're gonna need time off if you're, well, nowadays it would probably be really easy to get a chemical peel because you wear your mask everywhere, but if you don't want to go to work with a peely face, then you're gonna need a little bit of time off or something. And I just kind of started, you know, listening to the Twitter people. There's like Cave of Beauty, Makeup for Women of Color, there's Sean Garrett, and I found all these influencers and I started kind of learning more about skincare. That's why like I'm so thankful like that there's like professionals out there giving out this advice for free. Like it's so crazy. I mean, do you guys remember like when it was us, YouTube 10 years ago, and all the random stuff we put on our face because of the DIY people? Kids nowadays have it so good, and I just learned a lot from them. And I also kind of took a more scientific based approach, whereas I used to be consumer. So pretty much now I'm doing all research and stuff on my own. I started to learn like all the stuff that we were told to use, like, you know, face scrubs, coconut oil, witch hazel, like are so bad for your skin. And I was like, what? Like, dang, like I've been using all that stuff. Big skincare lesson is you can't be stubborn. You have to accept that even if you were doing something that's not good for your skin, just stop using it and move on. I feel like skincare is so stubborn, and people will give like advice based off of like facts, and people are still like, no, sorry. It's like, it's dangerous recommending things that aren't beneficial at all. And it's like someone on the internet will be like, oh, really? You can't put dog poop on your face? I've been putting dog poop on my face for 10 years and I'm fine, so you're wrong. It's so frustrating. Like I made one TikTok once about like some products to avoid or whatever, and the comments were not it. And that's when I was like, I'm probably not gonna be giving skincare advice anymore, but I have a lot of respect for the skincare influencers or whatever, because people are stubborn. But anyways, one day I had these weird dots all over my face, and they were like internal dots, and it was probably like the 4th time I had ever gotten them. This was the worst it had ever been. Like it looked like a hickey or something, but inside, all over my face and my neck as well. And I was like, I should probably go get this checked out. So I went to Zoom Care, and the lady was like, might be something wrong with you, like, and then she took like blood tests and pee, and everything was fine. And she was like, okay, well, you should go see the dermatologist. And I was like, okay, because Zoom Care has a dermatologist, who knew? And when I went to the dermatologist, she was like, yeah, the doctor was being a little bit dramatic, like, you're fine. She was like, I don't know what that is, but it looks like you got a little eczema on your forehead. And I was like, because she wasn't nice. She was like really kind of awkward and weird. And I was like, oh, really? Which would kind of make sense that something is like up with my forehead. She gave me some cream for it. I didn't end up using it because I was like, I'm gonna get a second opinion. So I went to another dermatologist. I went to this like pretty nice looking place. It seemed pretty classy. I went in, and I mean, I had made the mistake of that my skin actually looked really great when I went in. I had been taking really good care of it, and my skin looked amazing. So I just had to describe to her what I was talking about, you know, the redness, the texture, and she was like, yeah, it sounds like you have rosacea. And she didn't even look at me. She didn't, like, I expected, like, you know what, I expected someone to like up close examine me or something, you know? I don't know why, but yeah, she was like 5 feet away from me. She was like, sounds like rosacea. I'm gonna, you know, get you some cream that you have to go pick up. And I was like, okay. And turns out the first dermatologist prescribed me with a topical steroid. Topical steroids, I think your skin can get kind of like addicted to, so I'm really glad that I didn't just like throw that random thing on my face. The second dermatologist prescribed me some cream called Metro Gel, which is, I think is like either a 1% or a 0.5% antibiotic topical one. I went to go pick it up. It was $200. And the appointment was already, I think it was $150 for the appointment, a 15-minute appointment, by the way. And then $200, insurance didn't cover it. I was like, oh my God, you know, this lady is a little bit bonkers. Even the guy at Walgreens was like, so I was not very happy, and I was like, God, I hate dermatologists. But what I learned from that is that dermatologists are doctors. You know, that's what the doctor does too. They just, you know, she wasn't like Harley was, like talking to me and telling me like being informative and teaching me all this stuff. Like her job was to just look at me and prescribe me some medicine. Not the experience that I was expecting, but I think that that's, you know, kind of what the experience is sometimes. I'm sure not all dermatologists are like that. And she told me, wash my face, don't do anything else except put this Metro Gel on. And in my gut, I was like, I'm not sure that's great. I was like, what if that ruins my moisture barrier or whatever? But I was like, I'm gonna trust this professional. That's exactly what I did. She said, give it 6 to 8 weeks to work. It might be even a couple months. And my skin was terrible. I was like, I've never cried, except for after the chemical peel. I've never cried about just like how my skin looks, but it was red, it was bumpy, it was just mad at me. And I was like, this isn't right. So I sent them a message through the portal. I said, hey, should I be doing something else? Like, can I be applying something else onto my skin? Like, I'm really confused right now. And so somebody like calls me. She was not the doctor, but like the helper, you know, who like asks you questions when you first go in, maybe like a nurse. And she was so nice. And she was like, no, yeah, you're literally don't do anything else. And I was like, I don't like what's happening. Like, I hate how my skin looks right now. This is the worst it's ever looked ever. She was like, well, I could prescribe you with something. She wanted me to take medicine. It was an antibiotic, but it was such a small dose that it doesn't affect your body, allegedly. But I looked it up and they didn't have long-term clinical trials. I did not want to start taking a mysterious antibiotic indefinitely for what is allegedly rosacea. But she was so nice, and she said, you can call me back, tell me what you think. And I was like, okay. And then I didn't call her back for like 2 days. She ended up calling me back, which I thought was really nice. And she was like, actually, how about another plan? Let's give you a 15% azelaic acid. It's called Fenty. In America, you need a prescription for that high of it. And I think that's like when it works best. And that actually was covered by insurance, so it was only like $40. And I didn't even have to go in. She just like made the phone call. I used all the information that I had accumulated. Even though she told me to only wash my face and do Metro Gel in the morning and Fenty at night, I knew in my gut that I didn't want to do that. So I just did my skincare routine at night and kind of incorporated it all together. And my skin started looking better. Oh, and azelaic acid itches so bad. Like, you have to get used to it, but oh my God, it was so hard to get used to because I felt like I couldn't sleep because my face was so itchy. But it is a very underrated product. Like, it's just not talked about a lot. My skin started getting better because I decided not to just listen to her, because I had already just listened to her and I did not like her advice. I noticed because I use Metro Gel in the morning and I kind of forget I don't really do my skincare in the morning. I ended up forgetting to use it for like a couple days, and I liked how my skin looks. So I was like, I don't think I need the Metro Gel. I think the azelaic acid is good enough. I think I'm pronouncing azelaic like different every time I say it. I'm not gonna be able to talk while I do my liner, so I'm gonna come back after. Okay, I'm back. Now my routine is pretty simple. I wash CeraVe Hydrating Face Wash, Paula's Choice Calming Toner, Pinky List hyaluronic acid, and then Paula's Choice Omega Plus moisturizer, and then the azelaic acid on top, and that's it. Here are just a random list of things that you should probably avoid. Witch hazel. Really have been avoiding fragrance. I know there's like a whole thing going on with that right now. People saying like, oh, if you're in it for the experience, it's fine, but the biggest thing for me is that skincare is not just going to be an experience for me. Like, I know it's fun to put masks on and self-care and all that, but I just don't want to put stuff on my face that's not going to be good for my face. You know what I mean? Even in the shower now, actually, because I have like, I think I have KP on my legs, and I started using like CeraVe body wash, CeraVe moisturizer. It's not fun. It just smells like nothing, like kind of old lady-ish, but you know, when you use soap, like it goes away. It's not like the smell stays on your body anyways. Just throw on some perfume after you shower and you're fine. So even with my body now, I'm super careful with everything. I really want to make sure that I make good choices with it. No, oh my god, no to those black like peel off masks that rip out all the hairs in your face. No to scrubs. I've said yes. Guys, Vaseline is really good for your face. Vaseline CeraVe Healing Ointment is so great. Use that as an occlusive to lock everything in, and it's amazing. There also was another lie that Vaseline like clogs your pores. I don't even know where that came from, and that's not true. It actually like doesn't. Yeah, that's kind of it. My final advice would be to really think about what you're looking for. I think for, you know, day-to-day skin problems, you know, pimples here and there, dry skin, whatever, I think going to esthetician is great for that. I think they have a lot of hands-on experience, which is great. And I think for a dermatologist, I think they do better with like skin conditions. If you have a lot of acne and it's not going away, even if you're doing all this stuff, you might need something more. You might need to take something or go on Accutane or something. And I think kind of like the medicine aspect is really good if you need a dermatologist. Now I'm in a really good place. The only thing I would do in the future is probably a chemical peel again. You want to do the thing that's going to get you the best results. If you like getting facials, if you like all those things because it makes you feel good, that's totally fine too. Just think about what you want. Do your own research. Internet is free and we have all these free resources, which is really awesome. And don't be blind to, I hate now that I know that brands are trying to trick us, like all natural irks me so bad because natural doesn't always mean better. They all have their perks and their downfalls, and it's really about just finding a good person that you trust. Be weary that sometimes they're trying to play off of people who don't know anything. Don't fall for all this marketing foo-foo. Look into what you put in your skin. Take care of it. Be okay with whatever happens. I mean, I think we need to start being way more accepting. I want to see more representation with acne-prone skin, especially in the makeup industry. I'm happy with where I'm at right now, but I recognize that it is a journey. I don't think it's ever going to be something that is just easy and right. So you might have to work to get there, but also recognize that what you see on the internet like isn't real. Like even you can't see everything, and most of the things people post are smoothed or with filters. Skin doesn't look like that. Skin has imperfections, and just accepting your skin the way it is, and it's okay to want to improve it, but you know, be accepting and be kind to yourself and your face. So those are my experiences in my skincare journey so far. I hope that some of you guys found it helpful. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.